This will be for the con exercise, absolute maxima and minima. All right, so this is from a Khan Academy article, and it's pretty simple. Absolute maximum is where the function obtains its greatest possible value, and absolute minimum is where it obtains the least possible value. So when we talk about greatest and least possible value, we are talking about the y-coordinate. All right, so basically how far up or down the graph is, and we are talking about the y values. So that's basically it. In fact, if you were on the graph, I would say for the maximum, it is just going to be the highest point. Okay, and the minimum, of course, is just going to be the lowest point. So that's it. It's that simple. All right, and if you want Google's definition, it's basically the same thing. Absolute max and absolute min refer to the highest and lowest points, respectively, of a function across its entire domain. So remember, the domain is the x values. You look at the highest and lowest points for the possible x values. All right, mark the absolute minimum point of the graph. So you go to the graph. You see the graph runs continuously here. You just look for the lowest point. It's definitely not here because this point here is even lower. So I am thinking right there. Okay, you just take the crosshairs and left click on it. And that's the absolute minimum. Mark the absolute maximum point of the graph. Okay, so you see the graph runs continuously here. The highest point of this graph is clearly this right here. You take the crosshairs right there. This is the highest point in terms of how far up or down. Absolute minimum, lowest point. All right, here's our graph. Trace it to the lowest point. Take the crosshairs and just click on it right there. Lowest point, absolute minimum. Absolute maximum, highest point. And that is right there, the highest point, the maximum. All right, pretty simple.